Okay, so we all know that our Arizona water smells bad, tastes terrible, and hard water problems are a never-ending battle. Well, that's why most of us have some kind of water system in our homes, but not all of them are created equal. We've asked Dirk Chamberlain, our independent water consultant, to explain what to look for in a water system and tell us how we can get great-tasting water and stop buying bottled water and struggling with hard water deposits and even maybe save a lot of money. That sounds really
Hopefully,
appealing.
yeah.
Hopefully. So I mentioned some of those water systems in our house. Can you hit on what some of those are and what the differences are?
You know what, Alex? Probably the most common one, the ones that we've all grown up with, is the old-fashioned water softener that everybody's seen.
Right.
Now, water softeners have been around for over 100 years, and you know what? They really haven't changed that much. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have anything in your home today that hasn't changed at all in 100 years that you're still using?
I can't think of one.
No. No,
not at all.
It's totally, it's a 100-year-old technology. And the only thing that they were designed to do is take out the healthy calcium and magnesium in our water that they call hardness and replace it with salt. Now, 100 years ago, that sounded like a good idea, but 100 years later, we found out, hey, you know, you need that calcium and magnesium in there, and you don't need it replaced with salt.
Right.
So, you know, it's seen its day and it's over. And you know what? Because they leave chlorine in the water, it dries out your skin. It makes your hair brittle and frizzy. The chlorine is what starts those little lines around women's eyes and around their mouth and things like that. And you know what? The salt that the water softener leaves behind on your skin, on your hair, finishes the job that chlorine started, drying everything out. And that's why women have to use so many creams and moisturizers and stuff like that. And you know what? Chances are, if you have a water softener in your garage, you've got an under-sink reverse osmosis system underneath your sink in the kitchen to take the salt out that your water softener just put in. Does that make any sense at all?
Not at all.
No, it doesn't. And you know what? Both of them together don't treat all your water.
Well, you know, you're getting salt, you're getting chlorine, it's really mummifying you almost. It's turning you into a mummy, making your skin look wrinkly. But you're saying it doesn't treat all the water in your home. What do you mean by that?
Well, because water softeners alone don't take out any of the bad stuff. So all they do is they take out the calcium, magnesium, replace it with salt. Under sink reverse osmosis only work at the kitchen sink. So what about all the showers that your family is showering in? What about all the chlorine that they're absorbing through your skin? You know, we get 2/3 of our chlorine exposure when we take a bath or a shower, where it's absorbed through our skin. You know, we absorb chlorine 6 times faster through our skin than if we were to drink it. And you know what? The EPA says Americans get 300 to 600 times the amount of chlorine that they consider safe.
That's terrifying, and it's not really something that we can control because it's just the water coming into our house.
Exactly.
But there is actually now a solution for this.
Exactly.
And you have that for us today.
Right. Probably if you hate the, let's face it, people buy water systems because they hate the taste of their tap water and they're tired of buying bottled water. You know, so you should probably be looking at a whole house system that actually filters all the water. And the best one I found is this one from H2O Concepts.
Well, certainly, now see some of the essential differences on the screen.
Right. This one system, Alex, will give you great tasting water at every faucet. Takes out chlorine and contaminants in every shower in your home. It'll give you smoother skin, silkier hair. It virtually eliminates hard water problems, Alex, so you're not going to be scrubbing hard water problems like you have in the past. And it's maintenance-free. Once it's installed in your home, there is nothing for you to do. There's no salt to buy, no filters to change. You just leave it alone. And you know what? Anybody, and it comes with a 10-year no-nonsense warranty, so anything happens to it, call them up, and they take care of it. You know, anybody that has that confidence in their equipment to give a 10-year warranty, and you know why? Because they're the only system that's patented that has been tested and certified by all these independent laboratories. Some systems haven't been tested by anybody at all.
Well, I don't know why anyone would think twice about this. You know, they've got all the benefits of healthier water, but also they don't have to break the bank to get it because
Exactly.
you guys, the H2O Concepts is offering a special.
They are. If they call right now and you're one of the first 20 callers during the show and say you saw it on the Morning Blend, H2O Concepts will give you a $600 discount, free normal installation, and their financing package is available to fit any budget, so anybody can afford it, Alex. Just call them and get great tasting water. But with water, it's all about taste. So what I did was I brought you some Tucson. It's Tucson tap water after it's been through one of those systems. I want you to taste it and see what you think.
All right, this is the real test. I mean, how it tastes. Oh, Dirk, it's like a liquid miracle. I swear, it's delicious. I love it.
And you never will have to buy another case of bottled water again, ever.
You can't beat it. You install it, you forget about it, and it cleans your water for you. Dirk Chamberlain, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you, Alex.
All right. Now it's time to take charge of the water in your home and get great tasting water at every faucet. No chlorine or contaminants in the shower, smoother skin, silkier hair, and no more hard water problems. All you have to do is call 1-877-442-5222 or log on to h2oconcepts.com. Now don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend will be right back.
Welcome back. Now, I know that Leslie was extra excited for last night's episode of The Bachelor, not just because there was some good, juicy drama, but because the ladies visited your hometown.
No, I was so excited about that.
You were so excited. I said, you're going to be like, ooh, I know there, and I know there. Oh, look, there's my house in the background. But before we went to his hometown, we had a little bit of a roast ceremony.
Yes, because last time we left off, Vanessa was giving him a piece of her mind about Corinne. And he, of course, he's very good at smoothing things over. And he's just like, I love that you're honest. Please keep telling me these things, but be patient.
Yeah.
And that you mean a lot to me. So he kind of brushed it off, and she seemed to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Go to the rose ceremony. I think a lot of the women thought Corinne was going home. Silly girls. I mean, come on. No, but it was Brittany and Kristen who get sent home. Kristen seemed like she was blindsided by that.
Yes. Well, I said there's a GIF running around out there of the dirty look that she gave him when she was leaving.
Yes.
Her right there.
Yes.
Ooh.
Looks could kill. You could hear and see the gasps from the women and the looks of horror on a number of their faces when Corinne got the last rose.
And we knew he was going to wait to the last rose.
I know.
Come on.
Then don't show us scenes way ahead of
I
time
know.
that we see erotic.
Yeah. Well, and so the remaining ladies.
Yes, they get to travel around the world, and they start in his hometown, my hometown of Milwaukee, which I was really excited about. They were in Waukesha, which is a suburb. But there's a lot of that area I didn't know. But so he first meets with his parents, which I thought was sweet. They seem like really cool people. And so then he meets the ladies and says, it's time for a one-on-one date, and he picks Danielle.
Yes.
Who you can tell that they have an attraction. They've had a little bit of time together, and they go to a bakery and they make cookies.
Yes.
And you can tell that there is this physical attraction. He even says this, but he wants to get in a deeper level in conversation with her. So afterwards they go to a bar, which I thought was a kind of funny place to like sit down and talk. But she talks about the parents' divorce and stuff. I don't see a lot of substance. We were talking about this. You definitely see an attraction with him and her, which I think is that's what it is right now. But I don't see her staying on much longer. Maybe a couple weeks. I think she'll be gone.
The dress she was wearing might keep her on.
Wow!
For a couple of,
Wow!
I'm just saying the dress was.
Oh, you saw, yeah. You saw a lot of the.
So she got the rose at the end of that.
Of course, she got the rose. I was not surprised by this at all. And then group date comes, which is hilarious because everyone's name on it except for Raven.
Right.
I love Raven. She has the best lines. I mean, she was just like, it's the best of both. It was like both worlds. She gets the rose. Corinne does not get the one-on-one date.
Yeah.
She's like, all is right in the world. It makes sense now, which I love her.
Yeah.
So the date card said was say cheese. This is the dairy state, so they go to a farm to do some farmer's chores. I mean, which is kind of funny. I have to say, most of the girls were actually really into it. They had fun with it. The one person who didn't, shocker, Corinne. I love when Nick was trying to milk the cows and stuff, and one of the girls just goes right in and goes, "Ooh."
That was Jamie.
Yes, Jamie was like a pro at it. And they got to also clean the cow poo.
Yeah. She said poopy a lot on last
Oh my
night's
God,
episode.
Corinne, yes.
There was poopy.
She was like, this is the worst date ever. Like, and she said she had like, her hands were so cold that she had to stop.
Well, and in the nighttime after the shoveling of the poo situation at the cocktail party, they all kind of call her on a lot of stuff.
Yes, they do, because she actually hears them.
Yeah.
And she confronts them, which I thought was very good. But a number of them say that. I love that Christina really calls her out, because first she said she napped during the rose ceremony. Now it was a panic attack.
Yeah.
And Christina's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I love that she called her out on all this stuff.
Well, and Corinne got a little ouch because Christina got the rose.
Yes, she got the group date rose, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Raven goes on the one-on-one date, meets basically a number of his family, including his youngest sister, Bella. They went to her soccer game. She met his parents, which you could tell she was really kind of freaked out about on that. You know, I would be too.
Yeah.
But they headed off. They went roller skating with Bella, and Bella seems to like her. I like Raven a lot. I think she's very open and honest.
And she's the one kind of like from this small town, small town girl, and she said, hopefully we have that in common.
Yes, and I think she surprised Nick. They got to go to the Milwaukee Art Museum, which is a beautiful place right in Lake Michigan, all to themselves. And she told him about the last relationship where she was cheated on, and she was very open about basically that she pushed her ex off of that woman and started punching her and punching.
She found them in bed.
Yes, I mean, she's very, very honest about all of this.
Look, she is us.
But she is.
Yeah.
And I think that all surprised him a little bit. He likes her sassiness.
Yeah.
She's in my top 4. I really like her a lot.
Yeah. Now, before we go beyond that, we leave the hometown stuff. Your family actually.
Yes, my 2 nieces saw him at the mall with his family. I know they're diehard fans, and I said, was he happy to see? They're like he really didn't want to take the picture, but I'm like, dude, this is what you signed up for. You know, my other niece was in the bathroom. She's so upset she didn't make it. Yeah.
But this is super cute.
It is.
So we leave off with kind of a rivalry.
Yes, Taylor and Corinne really start to go at it because they've had a problem with each other from day one. And it gets loud, and then to be continued. Corinne basically says she wants to punch her in the face. they tease us that it could happen. I think it's going to be a 2-on-1 date.
Yep, and he has
with
to
the two
pick.
of them. Yes, we both predict Corinne will come out of that.
Yeah, I don't
Safe
know.
and sound.
To be continued.
I'm so over the to be continued stuff.
Well, you can watch a new episode of The Bachelor every Monday night right here on KGN 9. We'll see about the to be continued. Then tune in on Tuesdays to get a recap, of course, with us. Now let's move from the small screen to the big screen. Hollywood Happenings is after the break. Who did Jim Ferguson chat with this time? Find out next.
We've got to decide who's running this.
Important characters in the movie. You know, we never had a chance to do them.
Last Friday.
Yeah, and then we ended up doing.
We reran Tuesday's interview.
Patriots Day is still in theaters. Jim Ferguson spoke with two more of the actors about the film.
Yeah, I did, Tina, and you love film, right?
Yes.
But you didn't go see Patriots Day yet.
I have not yet.
But you got to see it.
I've got some other ones on my list.
It opened a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago, and I interviewed a couple of actors together, Jimmy Yang, who's a stand-up comedian, and Themo Melikidize from Russia, really, who plays the terrorist. And these are two important characters in the movie. Jimmy Yang is one of these people in the wrong place at the wrong time,
Yeah.
but he helps catch the terrorist, and of course, Themo plays a terrorist. And Peter Berg, the director, had to beg him to play this role, and he does a great job. So here they are together,
Okay.
Jimmy Yang and Themo Melikidize.
Let's begin with this. Would you both agree with me that this film, Patriots Day, is a tribute to the city of Boston?
Absolutely,
Of course.
Yeah, and I think it shows the diversity of Boston, and the unity of those diverse people, and how love can defeat evil if the people unite.
And when you see the film, it's a character. The city itself is definitely a character. Yeah. You're both in a scene. You portray a young terrorist, and you're just an innocent guy that has to give up his car, right?
Yeah, sounds simple enough, right?
Describe the scene where you capture him, you take his car,
Yeah.
where you escape.
Yeah, it was, I get to meet the real guy, Danny, and
You met him.
yeah. and he was able to kind of fill in the detail what's going on in his mind at that time. You know, I think at first it just feels like, oh, this guy's asking for direction, what's going on, and then he jumps into the car, points a gun at me. You know, it's like the 4 stages of denial, they say, right? Like it's and he goes through that emotion. It's like, okay, probably not gonna die. Just let him take my car. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna die. I need to just leave, you know. And his bravery and his decision and his smartness to kind of get through this event, I think is the reason why not more damage is done. Because in the GPS, these guys were trying to go to Times Square, Manhattan, with all like a bunch of pressure cookers in the back of the car.
That's why it was significant, you know. Themo, your character, I would imagine, as far as writing the script and playing this character, had to be very accurate.
Yes, very accurate. We did not want to put anything in the movie that wasn't there, that was not, you know, that was not real, that wasn't true, that was not based on what actually happened. And going off from you know, the experience that Danny Mang had, we wanted to stay true to that story. But at the same time, you want to create a 3-dimensional character. So for me as an actor, it was very challenging. But working with Pete, and then, you know, having that freedom to adventure in my character, and then sharing the thoughts that I have with him was, you know, is any actor's dream. You know?
A real challenge for an actor. Is it true that you were somewhat reluctant and Peter kind of walked you through it?
Yeah, because you have to know, this is my first big movie ever, first movie ever. So I didn't have really anything before this. And then when this came along, and then when I hear that I will be playing this, you know, playing this horrible person that will be seen by so many people, and it's so important, especially in the people for the people in Boston. I wanted to do, you know, as the best that I could. So and going into, especially the first days, the rehearsals, I was a little bit, I didn't want to step on anyone's shoes, you know what I mean? So, and that is so amazing about Pete, that he made us feel comfortable, and he gave us so much confidence. And we, at the end of the day, it was all love, and we worked together, and then eventually you get used to that, you know, habit, and then.
You did a beautiful job.
Thank you so much.
Jimmy, you know, I remember reading about it, seeing it on TV. The Boston explosion at the Boston Marathon on Patriots Day. But this movie, would you agree, takes us there. We see the whole story.
Absolutely, and I think the whole story includes a lot of these unsung heroes. You know, like the MIT officer, and Danny Mang. Like, for me, I didn't know about Danny before researching for the movie. You know, we keep hearing about the bombing, we hear about the Watertown shootout and the 2 terrorists, you know, but and I think that gave me such a sense of responsibility to portray Danny in an authentic way, to bring his heroic act to light for people to see. And it's these unsung heroes, these everyday people that became heroes.
Mark Wahlberg's character, the cop.
Yeah, and Mark Wahlberg represents, you know, the composite of a few Boston police officers, and it's these everyday unsung heroes that really was able to shine through in the moments of need and bring these evil people down.
Oh, you gave it a B when it originally opened.
Yeah, I gave it a B, and it's doing okay, and it had pretty good reviews. You know, it's a hard film to shoot because all these people are alive.
Yeah.
You know. Anyhow, Friday, DVD time. We haven't done one in a long time. Just out today on DVD, and that's Snowden, a movie that's been overlooked by all the award shows. Not much.
Who are you going to talk to?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm going to talk to him. He plays Edward Snowden, and I thought it was an excellent film, but is not receiving any love from any of the award shows.
Interesting. Jim, thank you as always. We'll look forward to see what you have for us on Friday. Now, you can watch all the celebrity interviews you can handle by visiting TucsonMorningBlend.com and search for Hollywood Happenings.